It's November 1st, JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today and the Treasury Titans. And I've got to say, I am fired up for these last 2 months of 2025. I am finally, after a 4-month trip to Maine, to Nepal, to San Diego, to Washington, D.C., doing all the things, traveling around the world. I am back in Puerto Rico for the foreseeable future. I am going to be delivering daily shows for the foreseeable future. We are back on track. We took a little break from essentially August 22nd and sporadically put shows out from that point forward. But now I'm back in Puerto Rico. I'm in my studio. I am committed to delivering daily shows to you. And it's going to come at you early in the morning because I'm here on AST, Atlantic Standard Time. So get ready for a fantastic final 2 months of the year. And of course, an even more amazing 2026. I cannot wait. After the earnings call that Strategy just had, I am more fired up than I've ever been. And I was pretty fired up a year ago after the Q3 earnings call of 2024. But man, this one has me even more fired up for some specific reasons we'll get to. But please just remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. Do your own research. But let me know in the comment section. We haven't done this for a while, so let me know. Where are you watching from? I want all of my OG viewers who know that I'm back. Let me know that you're excited that MSTR Today will be daily again going forward. I'm going to be delivering all the great content to you every morning, early in the AM, 7 days a week, literally. Let me know if you're excited about that. Let me know where you're watching from, and just comment something positive because we have all these AI bot trolls in the comment section now that are talking about Ponzi schemes and just crying about performance and MNAV. They're all bots. They're just sad bots, and so we can overpower them. So let's do this together. And as Michael Saylor says right here, the battle begins. And here we have the chessboard. Michael Saylor, he's ready. He's locked in for business. How can you not want this man just working for you 24/7? That's what he does. This is all he cares about, is delivering maximum shareholder value to you, the MSTR shareholders. That's me, that's you. And of course, anybody that owns his preferreds, like I'm a big Stretch and Stride owner because I just love parking my short-term cash there to get some massive returns. And then of course, buy these MSTR dips, which is amazing. By buying these MetaPlanet dips, which has also been amazing. I've got my cost basis way down in MetaPlanet. So thank you for these opportunities. Man, I bought it $2.70. I don't know if I'll ever have that opportunity again, but if I do, I'm buying MetaPlanet again. If I ever see MSTR down below $250, I'm buying MSTR for sure. I mean, I'm buying every single day MSTR. That's just my $211 daily purchase that I do every single trading day of 2025. It's automatic. It's locked in. I'm doing it. But man, we have such a great final 2 months ahead of us. So thank you, Strategy. Thank you, Michael Saylor. Thank you, Fong Li, for delivering such an epic earnings call. I just loved every part of it. We'll get into some more details later, but if you watched that earnings call and you didn't get even more fired up than you were before, then you need to rewatch it because, man, the value bombs that Michael Saylor dropped were endless. Fong Li was on point. The team is locked in. They're loaded. They are laser focused. I mean, Michael Saylor said that multiple times. We are laser focused. They know exactly what they're going to do. And guess what? They're not going to take any risk to do it. I love that. I just feel like this is the biggest risk-free trade of our lifetime. That's my thoughts. That's my opinion. That's my belief. Obviously, Michael Saylor feels the same way. Fong Li feels the same way because they verbalized that. They said those things. But man, am I excited for the future because all I have to do is just sit and wait and let Michael Saylor, Fong Li, and Strategy cook. And these people are cooking. And Michael Saylor just wanted to give a little shout out to Satoshi. He said, thank you, Satoshi, because 17 years ago at 2:10 p.m. EDT, Satoshi Nakamoto started a fire in cyberspace. Happy Bitcoin white paper day. Thank you. It was 17 years ago. I got into the game, when was it now? 2018, so that's 7 years ago. So I was 10 years late to the game, so to speak. But guess what? I'm happy to be here and very grateful for Satoshi Nakamoto for sure. And here we go. Strategy posted stretch rate stretched to 10.5% for those who like money. And then here's just a little GIF of them showing exactly, are you frustrated by low yields, 0 to 3%? I mean, that's gross, obviously. You can stretch your income with stretch, 10.5%. I just got paid yesterday, my stretch dividend. I loved it. It just feels like free money. And one thing that they talked multiple times about, which was so cool and so exciting, is that these are ROC, return of capital, meaning you're not going to pay any taxes for likely the next 10 years. That is the goal. That is the expectation. Return of capital, that means you're not going to pay taxes. It's for the next 10 years. It is tax deferred. So, I was happy owning this product when I thought that I was paying between 20 and 30%. Now I'm paying 0% on these. It's unbelievable what's happening. Michael Saylor was sharing the new updated percentages. I mean, the new percentages are like 16%, not 10, 17, 18%, not 10, because you're not paying taxes. Well, you're paying taxes on all these other things. So absolutely insane. I love everything that's going on. Chris says, excuse me, last year's Q3 earnings call was considered one for the ages. Yes, it was. I can just remember walking my street here in Puerto Rico, and I was like, am I running right now? I didn't even realize that I was running because I was getting so fired up during that call. And it just made me, I immediately went back and like bought a ton of MSTR like in that moment. It was so incredible. And then it says this year's Q3 earnings was almost on par with it. Another absolute masterclass. And the fact that Chris is the furthest thing from a hype train. He's not a bull maxi. He's none of the above. He is just straight shooter. He looks at what exactly is happening. He looks at the opportunities. He looks at the negatives. He looks at the positives, and he just comes at it. And so when he knows, or when he is saying what he believes and what he knows the strategy team is doing and that he loves it, I get even more excited because this is an individual that knows the game, has studied, has put in the hundreds and thousands of hours. So the fact that he thinks that this Q3 earnings call was almost on par with last year's, which will always go down as the masterclass of all time, that's amazing. It tells me that he gets it because he understands what strategy is doing. They are absolutely taking a massive bite out of the 300 trillion credit markets, converting it to Bitcoin, making us MSTR shareholders very, very happy. And anybody that's holding the preferreds, very, very happy for all the reasons we've talked about, massive return. So I love what's going on here. He says the management of every Bitcoin treasury company in every jurisdiction should be on notice. Saylor and Strategy are coming for your bread. I'm going to go ahead and pause this and we'll play this a little bit later in the episode because it's absolute genius and I love it all. Let's move on over to a great post by the Bitcoin therapist who says, my favorite part about owning MSTR is that Michael Saylor and the entire team are working relentlessly for me every single day. Have you seen their work ethic over the past 12 months? The innovations, the emergence of a new business model? Imagine what they can do in 12 years. That's what I'm saying. I wake up every morning and I'm like, wow. I literally get to invest in a company that has Michael Saylor, Fong Lee, and the entire strategy team working their butts off for me all day, every day. Did you hear Michael Saylor during the Q3, during the earnings call, talk about his speaking schedule? The guy's going to the Middle East. He's going to Florida. He's going to California. He's going here. He's going to Texas. He's going there. He is nonstop. He is relentless. And he has the absolute iPhone moment of strategy of Bitcoin, which is stretch. Now he can explain this unbelievable instrument in 30 seconds. As he said multiple times during this call, he now has the absolute easiest sale of his lifetime because it's the no-brainer. Matt says, everyone's asking why Bitcoin is not going up while S&P and gold break higher. We had those same conversations in the summer 2020, but most have forgotten or were just not around back then. ChatGPT remembers though. Here's a great reminder. I remember this, by the way, because I owned Bitcoin in 2018 through this cycle. And I was like, man, what's going on? But again, live and learn. In the summer of 2020, many wondered why Bitcoin wasn't moving while the S&P 500 and gold hit new all-time highs. Stocks had fully recovered from the COVID crash. Gold surged past 2,000 amid record stimulus and inflation fears. Meanwhile, Bitcoin lingered around 9 to 12K, still below its 2017 peak. Crypto Twitter and investors questioned if BTC had lost momentum or missed this macro moment. Ironically, that doubt marked the final accumulation phase before Bitcoin broke out in late 2020, smashing 20K and launching the next major bull run, which ended around 70,000. Doubt often comes right before the breakout. And guess what? We're feeling doubts So guess what and I'm not feeling doubt, by the way, but many, many people are feeling doubts. So does this mean we're going for the breakout? Time will tell. Anthony Pompliano, by the way, I listen to his content every day. I love this guy. He says, the Treasury Secretary is bull posting about Bitcoin and you are bearish? Couldn't be me. And then this is Scott Besant wrote, 17 years after the white paper, the Bitcoin network is still operational and more resilient than ever. Bitcoin never shuts down. I won't read that last line because I'm not trying to get political here, but this is the Treasury Secretary. I mean, come on. How can you not be bullish about Bitcoin after reading this? I love this by Hermes Lux. MSTR surges to $270 following a blowout earnings, up 6%. Blowout earnings. Everybody knew it was coming that did anything to open their eyes. But it's still funny to see that, hey, we can be sensationalists too. People love to be sensationalists to the downside. Let's be sensationalists to the upside. Jeff says strategies tracking date. This is 421. MSTR is now ranked the 138th largest U.S. company by market cap. By the way, soon it's going to be in the top 100. We both know that. It jumped 6 companies today. It's day 87 and qualifying for the S&P 500, the 16th largest publicly traded equity by volume. Insanity. Guess what? We're not going to just ignore the fact that Uptober was an absolute bomb, down 3.69%. We expected a lot. We got the opposite. It was a bad month, but we got to live with it. We got to hope that it's going to be, Bullvember and whatever we're going to come up with the name for December. But let's just hope for a strong end to the year. I expect it. Michael Saylor expects it. The strategy team was very vocal that they're expecting 150,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. Time will tell. To me, that's easy. But, hey, we'll see. October was terrible. It was down 3.69%. We'll see what the rest of the year brings. But let's call a spade a spade. And, hey, by the way, I'm back every single day, 7 days a week, as I mentioned, and I'm able to do this 7 days a week because I have 2 amazing sponsors. So please just support the sponsors if you want to, if you're able to, because when you support the sponsors, even by just going and downloading the free gift that they're offering, or even just by going to the link that I provide and just checking out what they're offering, it's a huge help because then they will re-up with me. And then I will be able to continue to do these daily shows for you at a large time cost and a large cost. So I would really appreciate anybody who supports these sponsors. We have a new one today who just locked in for a 6-month contract. But again, they can drop off at any point if they're not seeing results. So I just love when I can send them results. And that's you, my viewers. So definitely check out Northwest. Definitely check out BitIRA. I got them coming right here. And then a couple of video clips from Michael Saylor you are not going to want to miss. Fire Nation, when you want more for your business, more privacy, more guidance, more success, it all starts with Northwest Registered Agents. These legends have been helping entrepreneurs launch and grow their businesses for nearly 30 years. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in the U.S. with over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know your state's laws and actually care about helping you win. With Northwest, you can build your complete business identity, everything from what your customers see to what they don't, operating agreements, meeting minutes, compliance paperwork, and more. You'll get thousands of free resources, lawyer drafted forms, and step-by-step guides all in one place, and you don't even need to create an account to access them. Best part, privacy is automatic. Northwest never sells your data and handles everything in-house. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free. Okay, check this out. Senator Cynthia Lummis recently announced that funding for a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve can start anytime. This is a massive step forward for a strategic crypto stockpile, and no surprise, was soon followed by a new all-time high for Bitcoin. If you're looking to buy more Bitcoin, BitIRA can help. In fact, BitIRA will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into Bitcoin. This also allows you to buy Bitcoin using pre-tax funds and then continue to invest in it over time as you do any other retirement accounts. And if you want, you can even add XRP, Ethereum, or other cryptos. BitIRA protects your assets with end-to-end insurance, highly secured storage, multi-encryption, and registered with the US government. Your IRA is fully IRS compliant. Best of all, you can trade crypto within your retirement account without incurring taxes on any buys or sells. Just go to bitira.com/JLD and request a free info guide. Once you do that and open up your IRA, you'll get a free ledger. Think about this. In March, President Trump signed an executive order for the Treasury to manage 200,000 Bitcoin as the foundation for a reserve. That's just the foundation. Go to bitira.com/JLD to open a tax-sheltered IRA in Bitcoin.
And just one more question. With regard to your intention to tap international markets from a capital raising perspective, is the idea that you would effectively market the same for perpetual preferred instruments that you currently have, but just to different markets around the world? Or would you be designing new instruments that were specific to those geographies? Thank you.
It'll be the latter. We will design, if we're going into Canada, we would design an instrument that's denominated in Canadian CAD, and we would offer it to Canadian investors on a Canadian exchange. So it'll be a native product, because if you're the investor there, you don't want to take currency risk. And if we go into Europe, we would create a euro-denominated instrument. And we would offer something that represents everything we've learned from the first 4 credit instruments. If we could improve it, we would. But primarily, the Europeans want a euro currency instrument in Europe, and every international investor does. What we've discovered is, a lot of European investors, they can buy the American instrument. So if they wanted a USD dollar-based treasury credit instrument, they would buy Stretch. And so they can already get to it. In fact, one of the more pleasant surprises I learned is we accumulated a ton of European and British investors in 2020 because they could buy MSTR and they couldn't buy Bitcoin. So our digital credit instruments are already global. If you want US dollar credit instruments, then you're already buying them globally. We think the big unlock is that we can create a digital credit in any currency. We can take JPY risk, or we can take euro. We can solve that problem. And there's people that will buy $1 billion of something if they don't have to take the currency risk, and they'll buy nothing if they have to take the currency risk. So our job is to bridge that capital divide. And so when we do it, we'll do it with a native instrument and a native currency on a native exchange that is going to be presumably the most compelling credit instrument in that capital market that anybody's ever seen.
What's the second best? There is no second best.